Ron Harris here from MuscularDevelopment.com. Coverage of the 2021 Olympia weekend, brought to you by High-Tech Pharmaceuticals. Standing here with Milos the Mind Sarshev. We had a few divisions, but we're going to talk about Classic Physique. Classic Physique is a very, very popular division now. Chris Bumstead, the defending champion, did he come in and bring enough to keep the title? I say yes. Did he look as great as last year? To me, better conditioning last year. I think he was a little bigger. Milos didn't see it that way.
Well, no, let me tell you, I said that many times. 2020, Chris Bumstead really made me a believer. He was like so overpowering, like there was no question. I really didn't see him beating in back double biceps pose guys like Brian and Terrence. But last year he did. Oh my God! So this year I was looking for this 5, 6, 7 pounds improvement in pretty much same conditioning. You know, he didn't really bring the same conditioning. Of course, for me, there is no question he's going to win.
Yeah.
But did he improve? I don't see the more size. I've seen it in some videos leading to the show.
Right.
So I was expecting that now I'm going to be even more impressed with back double biceps. And for me, he was tad off in comparison to last year's edition. He still wins, yes, hands down, even though Brian is at his all-time best, I believe, and Terrence as well. Yeah. Terrence is sharp, razor sharp, drier. You know, so I was comparing two different things. Once by classical rules and by bodybuilding rules. So back in 2019, I said there's no way that Chris Bumstead can beat Brian and George Peterson in bodybuilding terms, especially because classic physique doesn't have a triceps front lat spread. Most muscular poses, but it has a front and back double biceps. So somebody with the weaker arms, biceps, and weaker back could not win that contest. But then in the 2020, I said even by bodybuilding rules, he wins. He's, some people, make the argument he could go to the open division and be super competitive. And there was that video of him and Big Ramy a couple of days after the Olympia on some photo shoot. He actually looked better than Ramy, if you ask me. So not to go as far as Jay Cutler said that he can win open division Olympia, but for a classic rules, he's a poster child for a classic division. He has that structure, and structurally he still dominates. He's tall, wide, super small waist, sweeping thighs, complete X frame. So for me, actually the closest guy to him would be one of my favorites, Urs Kalichensky. Urs Kalichensky is that similar frame, similar physique, similar height, a little bit shorter. So when you compare apples to apples and oranges to oranges, I wish that Urs just get that call out next to, Chris. He didn't. Urs definitely, made a name for himself today. I think he's going to be the top 5 contender. I don't think, of course, he has right now position to be challenging Brian and Terrence, but he's there. I think he can beat Alex Cabronero and move to the 5th place. So Urs, hell of a job. You made yourself, your mom, your brother, everybody, the whole family proud. 2nd place.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. I'm confused myself.
Brian is at his all-time best. He was 2-time champion. Okay. But Terrence is the runner-up last year, and he came improved. I said that Terrence was not as good as Arnold Classic. Conditioning-wise, he catch up what he needed to, come up with from the back, but didn't from the front. Now he's razor sharp front to back. But then when you look at classic physique, you want to do that V-taper, and then the front double biceps matter a lot. So Terrence doesn't have a great arms.
Right.
Brian has a much better arms.
Right.
So how do you judge that? Brian improved on the V-taper. I was saying this was his downfall. He couldn't match that crazy V-taper differential of Chris Bumstead, and even Terrence. Terrence has that super small waist, very classic. He was angling himself perfectly. So right now, for my money, Terrence is 2nd, but I wouldn't be surprised if they give it to Brian. It's that close. We were talking maybe about the back double biceps. Back double biceps, by bodybuilding terms, okay, I think that Terrence and Brian are sharper than Chris. But Chris's frame and enough muscle and just that wow physique. This is still going to take over, I believe. Now turning around, abs and thighs, right? Chris has that great vacuum. Doesn't have a super deep abs, but then again he looks very good in that pose. So you're going to take it away. Side chest. It's Chris's pose. He does it very well. Terrence is very good, but so is Breon. So this is that apple orange. Who's gonna take it? Chris is solidified in first place. Like he said at the press conference, the real contest is for a second place. Let's face it. Let's face it. Going into this show, that's how it was. I mentioned the only way he can lose the contest if he falls asleep and doesn't, come to the show. But for me,
Set your alarm, Chris.
yeah. But for me, it was not as dominating as last year, right? So, as Logan Franklin likes to say, closing the gap. Some guys are closing a gap. Now, who else? There was Ramon from Brazil.
Hold on, do you have Cambronero in fourth or do you have Ursus?
Okay, for me, I think the judges have Alex at four by the positioning, right? But I'm speaking my mind. I think that closest physique to Chris Bumstead would be Urs Kalichansky.
The Miracle Bear on Instagram guy.
Yes, such a wonderful, passionate guy, loving bodybuilding. He is into this 100%. I mean, he is so young, and there's years ahead that he's going to be a top contender. I wish they put him next to Chris. So people can realize that similarity that V taper.
It might happen tonight at the confirmation round.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, and Urs is sharp as can be. I mean, condition is nailed. I told him before when he won the Chicago show, he still needs to improve a little bit in the arms department. But look, Chris Bumstead was winning with the weaker arms, so it's not maybe a requirement as much as in the bodybuilding rules. But the classic rules, let's face it, Terrence doesn't have a great arms, right? So there are a little bit differences. So I see that Alex Cambronero is probably fourth in the judging score sheets, but in my book of classic beauty of the physique, Urs would be definitely fourth. Sixth, probably Ramon from Brazil. I don't know his last name.
I just had it and I can't. It's Carecia, something like that.
Yeah.
They always have three names in Brazil.
I think that Ramon has a beautiful physique. I think that Chris is here to prepare him because Chris was, screaming behind me. So I assume, for me, Ramon was not in a crystal sharp condition. He needed to be sharper. Because let's face it, classic physique guys bring much better condition than open division guys. So this is kind of expected requirement for a classic physique. Who else? There was
A lot of people were asking me about Robert Timms, who was not in the first call out. A lot of people thought he was going to be the one to push Bumstead because he's tall, he's wide, he's got that big back, big arms, big shoulders. To me, his legs are really what hurt him today. It's classic, but you still need to have legs that match your upper body.
That's how it is. Look, Robert is the most wonderful guy. And many times when I say something, then I regret it. Maybe the people are going to take it against me. But facts are facts. His upper body is open bodybuilding top six division, and his legs a man's physique. He could might as well use the shorts. I mean, sorry, but
Relax, Rob.
Yeah. But the discrepancy is so big that you lose this completely balance. So how can unbalanced physique be like in the top of the classic physique? That's why he didn't make a top call out, because let's face it, the upper body that he has, we would all kill for. I mean, it's one of the best upper bodies that I've seen. But legs, I understand that he's trying to, angle them a certain way, but it's very visible. These are professional judges that do this for a living. They know what they're looking for. So, that's more than obvious. With the bigger legs, he's contender for the title. So put another year of hard work into the legs, and then you're going to definitely be there, because upper body is unmatched.
So Brian Jones was fifth place last year. At the Arnold, he was off. I was hoping 2 weeks he could pull it together, get back into that condition that got him fifth place last year. Because one of the best physiques in classic Brian Jones. but the condition just wasn't there.
Yes, Brian Jones was that wonder. Can he contest for a title before the contest until we saw him at the Arnold Classic when his stock came down considerably because he just wasn't as impressive as we were expecting. Now he was put right next to Robert Timms, and now you can see that even his beautiful upper body cannot match somebody like Robert Timms, right? And then his conditioning was not really there, and then from the back he still has a weakness that back double biceps is not up to his chest and shoulders and arms. So in a classic physique, it should be that classic look, beautiful, aesthetic, but balanced. So as I was saying, for Robert, he needs to balance upper body, lower body, and for Brian Jones, he needs to balance front to the back. So he needs to really put some major time developing the back.
So I was very impressed with Mike Sommerfeld. Can't remember if he's from Germany or Austria, but he was in the first call out, but then in a couple other call outs where they brought the top guys, he was not in there. So the judges must have changed their mind about him. But still, I think fantastic physique, beautiful shape, proportions on this guy.
Beautiful shape and physique, more leaning towards the bodybuilding fullness. For me, he was like too full for a classic. This is how you have to differentiate. I mean, we know what we're looking for in the open division, right? Oh, if anybody's flat, oh, he's flat, he's flat, he's flat. Well, in the classic physique, oh, he's too full. This is how I see it. I think that if he emptied the glycogen a little bit and dried out a little bit more, he has a classic physique, look beautiful, shapes, lines. So I really think that, he moved down after they realized. He was like not eyesore, but you can pick him. Oh, this guy's super dry condition and flatter, and this guy was round, muscle bellies, and I think he was a little bit too big. A couple of pounds. If he can drop by the finals, he would be a contender. Peter Molnar, yes, we were expecting Peter Molnar, most phenomenal upper body also. Not as big discrepancy upper body, lower body like Robert, but his legs still need to come up.
From the back, they look pretty weak.
Yeah, upper body is to dream for. The strided, dense muscle, lean, super small waist. I'm a big fan of Peter Molnar. I would put him in a gym under the squat rack for like a year and then bring him back. Danny Yuonen, again, in pretty good shape, but in this kind of lineup, it's hard to make a top 10. And so to solidify this, I have Chris winning, as Chris is really a poster boy for a classic physique and a mold that you want to mold everybody into this kind of physique. Terrence brought the nostalgic bodybuilding classic look. He has more of that, the Serge Bray, style, especially those front triceps poses that he does and aesthetic poses. But I still think that classic rules has a little bit more towards the classic and structure than to bodybuilding fullness and muscularity.
Speaking of Danny Union, I only know this because my Instagram, he was live on Instagram about an hour and a half, 2 hours ago, and he announced he's moving to 212. He's all done with classic.
It's probably a very good idea. I love his physique. Yeah. And I pinpointed the other day, so if I love his physique and he's, making the weight, how come I don't place him higher? So it looks like maybe he just needs to squeeze it. He would just need to be a little bit, maybe fuller to be competitive in bodybuilding. And I don't think he would ever be top 3 Olympia contender in classics. So might as well try your luck in 212.
Best of luck, Danny. We're rooting for you.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think that's it. We're going to do confirmation round and finals tonight. Things can change. Guys can get fuller. Guys can lose their condition. It's only 50% of the judging is done during the daytime now. Finals, things change all the time now. People move up a couple spots, down a couple spots, but I don't see Bumstead unless he did not set his alarm and he took a nap and doesn't show up.
But one more thing, related to all this stuff, I think the classic physique should add a couple of more poses, especially like front lat spread, because you're looking for the structure. So give a little bit more. Yes. Both of us, we don't want to spend the 5 hours in the pre-judging and 5 hours at the finals. So I understand that officials don't really want to compare. But maybe you could cut out like 90 seconds bikini walk that, okay, you can just walk so many times front and back. I mean,
60 seconds is enough.
yeah, 45. You know, but then give a little bit more pose. We all like competition, and actual competition is comparisons. Even last night for the open division, yes, top guys were compared, but I would like to see much more, a little bit more, you know, second group, and then you know, mixing it up. Um, let's touch the subject also of a man's physique. Man's physique, we all agree, from Lee Haney to Dorian Yates and everybody else, that shorts has to, you know, probably move up a little bit. So maybe you make that shorts like a classic physique originally.
First 2 seasons of
Yeah,
class.
just to have, you know, displayed legs. I think it would be much more welcomed by all of us.
Oh,
You know, so this is one idea.
It's the only division that covers up a large
Yes,
part of the
because
physique.
look, Arnold Schwarzenegger on the stage presenting the Ferguson with his title. This is why you're wearing the shorts. I mean, but he's speaking the truth. You know, let's face it, this is physique contest. It's a whole physique. Don't encourage guys to just go to train upper body and cover the legs.
Well, and here's another thing. Don't get mad, guys, physique guys, but if you're gonna have shorts, you need to have some calves, because that's all we see. We don't see your quads, we don't see your hams, but I see a lot of these guys with I know calves are mainly a genetic thing, but
Yes.
I see very few even decent calves in men's physique. If that's all we're gonna see from the waist down, guys, hit those calves a little harder, man. Give us something.
Yeah, but I don't think the calves are even judged in the men's physique. So you know, that's how they don't want to do it. But many men's physique guys have great legs,
Yes.
and they would actually welcome the opportunity to show it. And I think that's something to consider. I mean, I understand it's established rules, but rules do change. I mean, back in my day, you know, we had a symmetry, muscular, posing around, and everything else. Speaking of that, one more thought.
Sure.
Because we don't have a judging of the presentation posing round.
Right.
We have embarrassing posing routines of all the open division guys that do just the mandatories, stick the tongue out, walk left and right with the stomach out.
Go. Come on, come on.
Yeah, which really it doesn't do nothing for the sport. If you do, you know, judge, okay, and there was that discrepancy that Sergio Oliva deserves higher placing because he had a better routine. Even in my time, it's not routine and movement that was judged. It was displayed physique. Now, poses under that mandatories that you know, exemplify your physique to your best capacity. So this kind of thing, and why do we have people putting $10,000 award for the best poser? Because they want that posing routines, nostalgia from Lila Brada, from Francis Benfado, Sean Ray, you know, Kevin Lebroni, Muhammad Makavi. Let's do something about it. I know that they say, okay, who cares? But if I'm a student and I'm not going to get the grade, you know, for some class, why would I even study? Right. You know, that's our ability, and you know, so this is what we do. So anyway, this is speaking my mind a little bit.
That's why you're here.
Maybe nobody wants to hear it, but I still have to say it.
Not everyone's going to agree with it. It's a subjective sport, but you've been around the sport about 40 years now.
Yeah, oh my God.
Close
yes.
to 40.
Yes.
A little longer than
As
me.
a
and
matter of fact, yeah, 1981. So it is 40.
You got a couple of years on me with that. So I respect your opinion greatly. I always appreciate hearing. I know some people aren't going to agree, and that's okay. We don't all have to agree, guys. It's all about opinion.
Most of the people don't agree with you and me.
They don't.
That Rami looked good and that is probably leading. I understand that a lot of people are saying, "Oh, you know, Milos was drunk." There is, you know, in muscle development. What did I see? Look, if there was aesthetics, there was put ahead. Dexter Jackson would beat Ronnie Coleman back in the day, and there is a, you know,
every year.
Yeah, there was many things, you know. So Rami is twice as wide and overpowering. I love Brennan's physique. Now, when they say Brennan was in better condition, I say, you know, I second that. You know, check it out. They were very similar condition. Yeah. Very similar condition.
I keep hearing Rami was off from people that are watching the stream, and I say, I was sitting right there, right behind the judges. He was not off at all. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, this is how I saw it. And if he was off, he was tad off from last year's condition. Last year he was straight first place across the board, and he's what 305. Let's say 290. You know, but to be fair, Brandon Curry, if you go pose by pose, beat him in the front double biceps pose. Beat him in the side poses, which was shocking because Rami has that crazy.
Split between the
Yes, I do think that he was squatting down too much, and it just didn't make that pose look right. And then Brandon would turn around and show chest, shoulders, arms, everything with the abs, and appear bigger and fuller. The triceps pose especially, pay attention. So from the back poses, he could go either way, But then again, there's always that factor, upper body, lower body balance. If you don't have legs to match your upper body, you're pretty much disadvantaged in every frontal pose.
Right.
So this is why I think that Rami is still winning, even though I would be completely okay with Brandon winning because,
Absolutely.
for me, that's my favorite type of physique in the whole show. So if I would, want to emulate, somebody.
You've always said you're a big shape fan. You're not
Yes.
all about just mass.
And Brandon is this. I hope that both Brandon and Rami, bring a little bit tighter condition, tonight. So we're gonna have an even bigger show. And we all wonder what happened to Hadi. Apparently, it looks like it's not conditioning. Apparently, it looks like maybe being penalized for shoulders inflammation. This is the feeling that I got. So. Nick Walker or Hunter, I was saying, I think that Hunter, because I like his physique better. When I look at the review again last night, Nick, could be right now solidified in third place because he is, just like dominant.
A lot of Walker Nation fans are gonna be very happy to hear that. You hear it,
Yeah,
guys? He could get third.
He could. I think, and listen, a lot of people around the world, me included, would want not just top two guys being compared, being third and fourth, that's okay because normally you judge six people, so if they're gonna all have the same chance of being compared over and over again, right? Somebody might be getting better, and then soon enough you're gonna start changing the opinion, which happened even to me when I was, trying to judge Texas show. I've seen Steve Yambelier and Phil Hay, and in the first round I seen one thing, and then the second round I start changing, and then by the end, hold on a second, I made this decision in the first call out. Now I'm changing it.
Yeah.
So this is how probably judges would do it too if there's a little bit more comparisons.
Well, we'll find out in just a few hours. Want to make sure I thank High Tech Pharmaceuticals for their sponsorship of our coverage. Makes it all possible for us to be here and do what we're doing, providing this coverage live from Orlando or close to live. So guys, we'll be back for the finals tonight. Go to musculardevelopment.com on the No Bull Forum. We got the play-by-play thread. We have a contest gallery on the website with great pictures. Go to our Instagram, Muscular Development. Awesome pictures, professional shots by this guy behind the camera, Hector Mendoza. So much more to come. Keep it right here, guys. Thanks for watching.